Woo! Good morning, HTB Younger Youth. I hope you're doing well. Happy Sunday. My name's Daniel. I'm one of your youth pastors, if you didn't know. And today I just want to introduce our speaker. Our speaker is Nat. He is one of our HTB College students, and he's on the youth team. If you watch the streams, you can sometimes see him in like the music and worshiping. He's super cool. But today he's going to be talking on how love always preserves. So why don't you check it out?
Hey guys, so my name's Nat. I'm really excited to talk to you today about the theme of love perseveres. Or there's another translation in the Bible that says love endures. So I just wanted to share a story about myself. In my throughout my teenage years, I spent so much time trying to be something that I thought people wanted me to be. I spent time buying the clothes I thought people would be impressed by. I kept doing my hair in a way I thought people would be impressed by. I stopped doing things I enjoyed because I thought it would impress people. I changed the way I spoke because I thought it would make people find me more popular. But what if I told you that I've come to a realisation that there's something more than that? There's something that's more exciting, there's something that's more fulfilling, and that can do so much more for you and your soul and your happiness than popularity ever can. Today we're talking about 1 Corinthians 7. So the phrase that we're looking at is love always perseveres. There's a translation that says love always endures. And it's a really exciting thing to think about. It's like love endures throughout our lives, love endures throughout difficult times, love endures throughout good times, love endures actually, in this case, beyond the grave. Through Jesus dying for us, this love carries on beyond the grave, and that's a really exciting thing for us to be able to enter into. And I just wanted to ask a question of you that you can think about. How often, when we live in this society, in this life where we can find whatever film we want like immediately on Netflix, or we can look at the post we want to immediately on Instagram, or we can order something and get it literally that evening on Amazon Prime, how often do we look at those as the things that are going to make us happy, the ways that we feel loved, the way that we feel cared for, instead of focusing on ways that can make us eternally happy, a love that endures and that can make us feel more fulfilled and more confident in ourselves? How often do we put our trust in that instead of these quick fixes? If we spend all of our time trying to gain happiness and trying to gain fulfillment by like pushing towards this feeling of love by getting the right clothes or making the friends we think we need to make to be popular, if we spend all of our times doing that, we actually end up with a fragile and a fragile sense of ourselves, a fragile sense of confidence, because that love that we're feeling, that confidence that we're feeling is fragile and it'll run out. How are we meant to survive on that, something that's just gonna like run out halfway through anything we're doing? Isn't it a better thing to focus our lives on pursuing a love which not only promises that it's going to endure forever? God promises that his love is going to endure forever for us, but it has also been there on our side even when we don't notice that it's there. It's not only going to endure in the future, it's not only going to endure in our present, but it's also endured in our past. We can look back and we can see how many times God has been faithful to us. I like to think of this as like a tunnel. So if your life is a tunnel, there's a phrase which says there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think that's quite a negative or difficult way to look at love. If we look at love as a light at the end of the tunnel, it's like something that we're looking towards and we're always pushing for. And it's like, oh, if I buy this shirt, I'm going to get closer to it. Or if I make friends with this person, or if I change the way I speak slightly, I'm going to get closer to this like magical area of popularity that we can never quite get to. Pushing to feel loved by sort of seeking it in a way of looking to be recognised and looking to be popular in human ways and be famous in human ways. It's like aiming to get somewhere that we'll never get to. It's impossible to live up to the crazy high standards that humans set. It's we can never reach it. There is no way to be perfect by those standards. We'll also always be focused on that, and we'll miss out on all of the amazing things that are happening around us. There are so many good things that we can miss out on if we just keep on pushing towards getting to this like human level of being popular. It's so much better to stop focusing on that light at the end of the tunnel. Stop trying to get out and trying to push towards this thing that's so difficult to get to. How better is it to look at the lights around us, look at the lights on the side of the tunnel. Sometimes they're tiny, sometimes they're like little candles that we can't even quite see. But sometimes they're big disco balls and they're like big skylights and all these things. How much better is it to look at those small bits of love that we can notice and the love of God that endures throughout our journey through the tunnel? It's so much of a better way to live, to notice those and to be excited by those and to plug into those than it is to push towards that light that we're never quite going to reach, that happiness, that popularity that we're never quite going to reach by human standards. God's love is eternal and enduring and persistent and amazing. It's unlike any of this human popularity or any of this human fame that we find ourselves aiming for sometimes. So I just want to prompt you to look at the ways in which you could push towards getting excited about this godly love, this enduring love, instead of focusing so much on gaining human popularity. That's definitely not to say that you can't wear the clothes you want to wear to look the way you want to look, but if we build ourselves on a foundation of understanding that this love that endures, that this godly love that endures is exciting and is important, then everything else can come with it. A confidence can come with it, a happiness and a fulfillment can come with that, and we can build our lives really, really strongly on that love. And that's a really exciting thing for us. So just as we wrap up, I want to pray for you guys that we can all find a way of focusing on God's love and building our lives on a foundation of His love, instead of feeling like we're held to human standards that are impossible to reach. That everybody watching this wouldn't feel scared or stressed by pushing towards human standards, but instead would know that their God in heaven loves them enduringly and powerfully and amazingly, and that would be what they build their lives on. Amen.
Awesome, Nat. Thank you so much for your talk. I really like the analogy with the lights in the tunnel and not just there being a light at the end of the tunnel. But yeah, younger youth, as this video is ending, I hope you have already checked out the Young Youth Journal PDF for this week. It's in the description. You can download it there, or you can download it on our website. Fill it out if you haven't already. And yeah, hopefully it'll get you to think a bit more critically about what Nat said. And yeah, with that being said, I wish you a wonderful week. And this term is about to end, so we're coming to the close of this series. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. So thank you so much for joining us, and see you next week.